because it works.
There we go, it's my little boogie for the day.
Well, geez, I tell you what, mate, you got the commentary tower rocking. I can tell you, Tim Betts, Jojo Kapua coming out on track now, the builder from Auckland. Jojo, the truck driver office manager from Tauranga. The boat is Violent Tendencies.
Take a look at our fine rescue crew, folks scattered around the track, all in the bright orange. They do an absolutely amazing job. And of course, we couldn't do it without them, KV. Otherwise, it'd have to be you and me jump out of the tower and go and rescue the boats. And we don't like getting our feet wet, do we, mate?
Oh, absolutely not. I couldn't see that we get there too quickly either.
No, exactly right, exactly right. So rather them than us, as we switch our focus to the Violent Tendencies team of Tim Betts and Joe Kapua, the R4 GrpAQ3 qualifying 3 here at...
This boat double driven. Of course, Tim Coleman, the B driver of the Violent Tendencies machine. Just down a little bit of power, this vessel. And these guys just sort of coming to terms, reasonably new. Tim Betts, Tim Coleman, only been racing for a little while as well. So these guys just sort of coming to terms with all. Oh, no, Betsy, he's just clipped the inside,
well done.
Got away with it. The boat landed okay, I think. That was more luck than good management.
Didn't cost him too much either.
Betts,
Well, it might have cost him a cup of coffee on the way back in.
Well,
but
that's right. And a dry cleaning bill, 51.599 there
Yes.
for Tim Betts. But, yeah, we saw the safety crew standing underneath the Lucas Oil sign on the opposite side of the track from commentary. They were already looking at moving towards that. Very, very quick off the mark, these guys. Realised that Betsy's landed it back okay. No need for them to get involved.
No, exactly right. So you almost saw the move, and then the old heels came back down into the dirt because they didn't have to take off. Because I was watching these guys down here in front of us. They would have had to take a hop, skip, and a jump. Oh, no, they would have left it to the guys on the other side of the track anyway.
I'd say so.
But it would have been a good stretch out for them, no?
Well, that's right. Rick Flowerday out on track now. Jazz Flowerday doing the navigational duties. ZB Holmes. So Rick Flowerday just a little bit on and off the throttle in certain areas of the track, just easing it off, just setting up the boat to go down that middle chute. Takes a bit of confidence to hit that middle chute after coming out of the NZ Speed Bowl at full pace, to just line that chute up. So Rick Flowerday will develop that confidence throughout the day. Now to this final part of the lap, series of right-hand turns. Squared that off a little bit towards the end of it, and that's a 48.984. 48.984 there for Rick and Jazz Flowerday.
Geez, these boats are just getting faster and faster, aren't they? You know, we start with the Group Bs, of course. They're getting quicker. The Group A's are getting quicker, and then wait till the super boats. We saw them. You reckon we're going to go a 39, 38, 39?
Yeah, high 38, low 39 by the end of the day.
But what's a high 38? 38.9?
38.9, something
So why don't you say
like
39?
Well,
it's like saying something's 99.99. You say 20 bucks.
No, it's all got to be, you've got to have a range. You can't just go 39. Well, I mean, you know, it sounds better if you go high 38, low 39. Sort of, you know.
So you're really hitting the 39?
Yeah, well, basically what you're doing is just opening up the scope of possibilities.
Okay. Fair enough. I forgot you were Australian.
Bevan Edwards and Claudia Edwards now. The Inheritance. So this is the boat that the plan is to hand this boat down into the generations coming through from the Edwards family. So I think it's, you know, they're not spending the inheritance. The plan is to just, for the others coming through, the next generations, that they'll end up with it. And I think that's a wonderful idea, long-term planning.
Well, of course they do spend the inheritance, but the inheritance is spent on the inheritance that goes on the water. So, and technically, they're not spending the inheritance, but they are, right? So,
well, they're enjoying the inheritance. So.
But what happens when a family member goes, I don't want to do boat racing?
Well, you throw them out of the family. What sort of family is that? It's weird. So Bevan Edwards now coming across the line and a 50.708.
That's a good time.
50.708. Tony Reid and Andrew Bakey out now for Drill Code. Still at it is the name of the vessel. And, Tony Reid, we haven't seen him feature much this season. He's out there now. And as we said earlier, building an unlimited boat.
Yeah, no, he's good too. I just wanted to touch on, folks, as you come around, have a look at, we just talked about Tim and Debbie Edhouse with the full face balaclava. Have a look at Uncle Tony. Now, this guy drives around, you can just about see the teeth. He absolutely loves this sport. And now you watch, you'll see him go around. Have a look as he comes around towards you now. The open face, you can see him there. It's almost like he's out for a Sunday drive, KV.
Yeah, Tony Reid, absolute crack of a man, an engineer out of Waitara, and he and Bakey been mates for, I don't know, ever. And yeah, these guys love it. You can see on the starboard bow of this vessel, it's got a bit of a ding in it. And that happened at Wanganui last season. Tony said, well, it's not affecting the performance of the boat. I'll concentrate on the engine. A bit of a buckle in the bow. No issue. Carry
Nothing
on.
wrong with that. It's just like my wife's car's got a few dings and bangs and like that. So, you know, she thinks it's a stock car. That's okay. Doesn't worry. As long as the engine is okay and it gets the kids to school. That's all I worry about.
Yep, that's all it needs.
Because you know what happens? You fix the dent and then next week there's another one in there. So you might just leave them in there.
So Tony Reid, Andrew Bakey with a 51.160, qualifying round number 3 for the Lucas Oils Group A category. Stewie Latham now coming off the trailer, the man from Western Australia. Kendra Death doing the navigational duties. Kendra, the spray booth supervisor, so does a lot of work on cars. Stewie Latham works for Herod Constructions, all sorts of roles that he undertakes. Made the move from Western Australia to New Zealand some years ago. And great to see him back on the water. Had a bit of a rough year last year, did Stewie Latham. Had a couple of heart problems and a few bits and pieces, but he put that behind him and moving forward and looking forward to getting back behind the wheel of this boat and really not pushing it too hard, just getting that comfortability, that awareness, getting used to the speed, getting used to the cornering, all of these types of things that come with Jetsprint driving. So Stewie Latham back out in the water.
And of course you wouldn't even think he'd been off the water, mate. Like you say, he had a bit of a break there, but and that's what I love about this. You know, we talked about Sam Udick before, same thing. You know, you talk about Paddy Hayden, came out qualifying 1, hadn't been in the boat for ages, jumped in as if it was like he'd got out of it yesterday, you know. So I think that's a real attrition to these guys and girls that get out on the water. This is going to be a good time for Stewie and Kendra. A 49.029, folks. Cast your eyes to the big screen, you'll pick that up. But yeah, no, real attrition for these guys to come back just like they got out of the boat yesterday.
Yeah, and well, we're seeing a fair bit of that, and I guess it's like they say, it's like riding a bicycle. You just sort of never forget. But sometimes you've been out for a while, the anxiety increases. The overthinking can often be an issue. Just really overthink what the process is. It's pretty simple. Put your foot flat to the floor, get the rotation right, finish the run.
Exactly.
Easy to say from up here, a lot harder to do when your eye level's only about 3 to 4 foot above the water level.
Exactly right.
Clayton and
Exactly
Mandy
right.
Tisdall coming out now from Tapanui in the South Island, the agricultural contractor for Tisdale Contracting, and Mandy Tisdall, the teacher down there, get inside it too.
Oh, look, they'll be
Case Construction, Performance Auto, Roy McDonald, Automotive Engineering.
We talk about travelling a long way. I mean, nobody's travelled as far as these guys, folks. As Katie mentioned, from the South Island, but not just the South Island, all the way down there from Tapanui and Wanaka. So that's their home track down there. Of course, that was round 3 a few weeks ago. But they're going to impress me every time they get out on the water today, KV. I tell you, they've got this new engine in here. It looks like it's doing the goods so far. They're getting pretty used to it. Nothing out of it. I've been up in Hamilton, I think, for 3 or 4 days to get that sorted, and only tested it for about 10 minutes before they got it to the track. So they'll be looking good. We'll try and catch up with them a little bit later on as they slide through the middle of the track. Now this is going to be a good time, and the bounce through the washing machine part of the track to pick up a great time, folks, of 49.018. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah, still plenty more in that HRE engine there. Qualifying round number 3. Clayton Manny been around for a number of years. No, they don't need to push it too hard. Just getting the feel of the new step up in power, and quite a significant step up in power to what they've had previously. Sean and Faye Rice now Elite Kitchens.
This is a great machine too, the monster machine. As you say, Cave, they're heading off to, I've already got a boat in Australia to take on your fellas over the ditch there, so we wish them all the best for that. But these guys, I mean, they should get the award, I reckon, for the most polished boat, mate. They spend a bit of time making it nice and shiny. Now, I'm not taking it away from anyone else in the pits, because I know they all do a great job getting it nice and tidy for the fans to come down and have a look at lunchtime. But no, they've got a really nice setup there. And of course, Elite Kitchens, they do a fantastic job. And also, but not just Elite Kitchens, but Faye is an aerobatic, what do you call her?
Aerobatic,
an aerobatic
super pilot.
Acrobat. Yeah, she's a wing walker, right? She gets out.
So she flies. There is a team down there in New Plymouth, and so it is Formation Team Aerobatic Flying. Oh, Sean Rice just overdrove that a little bit into the middle of the track there. A little bit heavy on the exit of the NZ speed bowl, so would have lost a little bit of time there. He won't worry about that. He'll know where that went wrong for future reference.
He'll make up for it. Don't worry about that as they come back through the centre of the course now to find this tight. Oh, kick it in the guts and go through to pick up a great time. 45.093. Give him a round of applause, folks. That is an absolute wonderful time. And it's still early days. Now he's got the pressure on to try and beat that, of course.
Yeah, well, we've still got Ollie Silverton, Ross Travers, Tim Coleman still to come. So now that we are down into the 45s of the Group A, so early in the day, I'm sticking with that prediction.
So are you saying the 39s across the board?
I will say the Unlimited will be sort of high 38s, low 39s. I reckon the Group A that we're in qualifying 3 now for, we are going to see them into, say, the 40, low 41s, sort of high 41s, thereabouts.
That's big estimates, mate. You're not usually a man that puts out predictions like that, mate. I know you're always scarce when I try and put you on the spot, but I'm going to take your word for it, man. You've been doing this a lot longer than me. So, but folks, as we said before, if we see times like that, you're going to go home remembering the NZ Sprint Bowl Meremere for a little while.
No doubt about that. Then radioactive now, Ross Travers and Amanda Kiddo. As we said, number 2 in the world. This boat, most of the Group A boats run an 8.5-inch jet unit. This boat has an 8.25-inch jet unit. Ross Travers, traditionally a very smooth driver, but he has made a couple of mistakes. And when he does, they tend to be quite a large mistake. Never a dramatic sort of crash or anything like that. He had a good one at Wanganui, flooded the boat. But, yeah, can just sort of sometimes have that little bit of a brain fade. But it only happens very, very few and far between. So traditionally, well, you can't wear number 2 in the world without good reason.
Exactly right, mate. And talking about that at Wanganui, he realised straight away, he jokes about it now, we shot down and talked to him pretty much straight away. But he knew that he'd stuffed up the first turn, and he gave it a bit of juice because he thought he'd beaten it. And, of course, that was the end of the day for him, as that actually kicked the back of the boat up and over they went. And like you say, flooded it, took on a lot of water, then went back and sat on its belly as he goes through. That's a great time, folks, 45.876. He'll be happy with that too.
So 0.8 behind Sean Rice there.
And so you say 0.8 kV, it doesn't sound very much, but in a sport like this, that's huge. And of course, talking about times, we were fortunate enough to be at the Hydros last weekend calling the action there, and to decide the second round was 1 second between the boats, and they're going over 150 mile an hour, folks. So, you know, that's some pretty quick action. So a second does mean a lot, and it can cost you the championship.
Oh, particularly when you've got lap times around the 43, 44, 45s at the moment in the Group A category. Ollie Silverton in qualifying round number 2. Took the boat down to the trailer, got a DNF, but they were a little bit worried about some engine issues there. We didn't get to the crux of the matter, but Ollie Silverton and Jess sit out there at the moment. They're obviously not concerned or any issue that they may have had, they've certainly sorted that out. He's driving beautifully.
Yeah, he's certainly making up for lost time there, Cavey, as you say. He just cautiously took it out of the water, and it was about here when he did the split. So it looks to have got through this okay, though, as he comes back up the straight. Oh, there's still plenty of power left in this machine, that's for sure. Look at the smoothness of how he's going now. Of course, he's got champion navigator Jetsprint right alongside him. He'll come back through to pick up this island, back through to take the, mate, this is going to be a great time, 44.372, and go straight into P1.
And roughly about 0.6 and a bit of change quicker than Sean Rice. So Tim Coleman and Dylan Matthews will be coming up next. And in the Violent Tendencies machine, the jet boat mechanic is Tim Coleman from Martin, Dylan Matthews from Wanganui, the engineer. So Coleman Marine, the Downs Group, and NZ Riverjet on board these guys. And big shout out to Nick and Rochelle Berryman down there at the Lakes Lodge, Lake Okataina, and had a great time down there. Corporates, weddings, they also do the Bucks parties down there on the boat, on that 70s boat. So great place. I've just spent a couple of lovely leisurely days down there.
You would. Some of us had to work.
Oh, well, look, you know, it was okay. I handled it.
I'm sure you did.
I took it in my stride.
I'm sure you did.
So Tim Coleman coming out now. There's a little bit of action down on the ramp there at the moment, so just trying to see what's going on. We've just got a bit of a hold up. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break. We'll get the information in just a second. Tim Coleman and Dylan Matthews being sent to the back of the track. So Ollie Silverton pointing to something up the top of the track. Maybe there's something in the water. We'll come back to you with that in just a little while, ladies and gentlemen. So Tim Coleman, so there was a bit of an issue with something floating in the water there, the safety crew onto that and making sure that everything is A-OK. So Tim Coleman, Dylan Matthews now out on course at the moment, the last of our qualifying round of number 3 for the Group A category, brought to you by Lucas Oils. And the colour of this boat, it just amazes me. Every time I see it, you just never know what colour it is because of that pearl paint job. But I don't think that I can remember seeing pearl change such dramatic colours. It's like a chameleon.
Yeah, it is. It is. And look, it looks good too, though. It looks good. It's impressive, not just driver and navigator, but like you say, the boat colours. Maybe you can pick it up over there.
You just missed that. Tim Coleman came in very tight into that final turn, 49.834. So here's how that qualifying 3 went for the Group A. Ollie Silverton, Sean Rice, Ross Travers, Rick Flowerday, Clayton Tisdall and Stewie Latham making the top 6 fastest times there. So I do apologise. Yes, we've got Paddy and Jay Hayden still to come. The B-driven boat. Well, because we haven't seen Paddy and Jay and Stewie for a little while, it's sort of, I forgot.
Well, of course, we did have Paddy, our pit reporter, was on part of the commentary team, so I was shed a tear when we lost him, of course.
Yeah, well, he's been, he's a bit of Paddy do roll his sleeves up and get involved in everything. And of course, Shot 360, our photographers down here doing some fantastic work, picking up some great images. So Paddy and Jay Hayden now getting ready for their run, launching off the line.
Oh, and they'll leave nothing here. Of course, it was a Valentine's Day present for Jay to get in the boat today, so she'll be absolutely ecstatic about that. Of course, she was a navvy for a super boat, of course, a couple of years ago, and then jumped in another boat last year, and it was actually, I think she was 2 NZ from memory last year, or was she 1 NZ?
Oh, off the top of my head, mate, you got me, I must admit.
And I know, and when we were doing the prize giving, we asked her, you know, what do you put it down to being so well? She said, not being in a boat with my husband. So
yes, she's, her and Paddy have been driving, navigating for a lot of time. A little bit wide out the bottom there for Paddy Hayden into this final part of this rotation here. That big back off coming into that corner. He did that last time as well. The time was pretty good with a 47.296. And where does that put them into the mix? Into P4. So it'll be Ollie Silverton, Sean Rice, Ross Travers, that man Paddy Hayden, Rick Flowerdale, Clayton Tisdall, Stewie Latham into 7 after qualifying 3 Group A Lucas Oil style.
We are going to have a quick couple of minute break while we just sort out some of these tyres.
Okay.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll just have a quick break. You can see the safety crew